So I just finished watching The Other Woman Part 2. The last time that you guys saw me, I was shouting, Uche Montana, you cannot be serious. And well, she has completed the story that she started. In case you do not know, The Other Woman, the Uche Montana movie, the Part 2 is now out. It came out yesterday night. So it came out by 6 p.m. I literally was here 6 p.m. on the dot and I watched it. So I'm here to now give you my thoughts. I'm going to obviously keep this non-spoiler part very non-spoiler because I'm sure some of you don't even know that it's out. So go and watch it. You can save this video, come back, and then we will gist after you watch it. But for those of us that have watched, I will talk about spoilers in a second. All I will just say, as far as non-spoilers is concerned, is that Uche Montana, you are a beautiful girl. I mean, Uche Montana, she already knows she's fine, but maybe sometimes we need to still remind her. There was a scene, the whole film, Uche, you are a gorgeous girl. Uche Montana, you are fine. That is all I will say for non spoilers. Check out the movie. Some people will say, oh, how can the thing just stop like that? Some people, I mean me, and others that were in the comments because all of us were clamoring for part two. And by the end of part two, the story is now complete. Like it makes sense why it was split into part one and part two. Like, because I think there's so much story that each one, I guess, wants to tell. And there are two different things and two different feels. So definitely go and check out part two and they can come back and then we'll talk with spoilers. For those of us who have watched, spoilers ahead, let's get into it. So for this conversation, I want to talk about it. I'm going to split it into three. I will talk about Amanda and Quinn, Amanda and Frank, and then Frank and Quinn. But before I get into all of them, let me start by talking about Jide, that friend. Jide has been giving us single friends a bad name from part one. This is the same Jide that said, oh, follow me to this fine girls gallery. When he was starting this thing, Jide was egging him on. Now when the thing does scatter, Jide is the one here laughing at him. Like, there are so many Jides in this world, and this just goes to show, ask God for good friends, because good friends really will help you, and bad friends will mar you for sure. Then let me go straight into Amanda and Quinn. The first thing that I want to say was the way that Amanda dropped that bomb. Auntie, I've been dating your husband. I said, ah! She dropped it like a bomb. She dropped it. I was really like, oh, she really just dropped that thing whole her. And then the next thing that I said was that the way Queen reacted, like I understood it. But Amanda, I just loved how Amanda handled this whole thing. I love how Amanda really took it like a boss. And I like how she didn't take it from Queen when Queen started to now like curse her. I like the fact that she was like, please don't curse me. I didn't have to come and tell you this thing. I'm doing this because I respect you. And Queen handled it very terribly. But you can understand because her character at that point, it makes sense with her characterization. You're just finding out that your husband is sleeping with a person that you thought was your friend, like the affair you thought was true, and with a person that you trusted. I can understand why she would be upset. But the way that she handled it, very poor but understandable. But who I really give more of the to is Amanda. Amanda took that thing on the chin and she handled that so well. Then fast forwarding to the end, I want to say woman supporting woman. That is ultimately what this film is about, I guess. Woman supporting woman. Because when at the end, Queen then opens the door and then they have that conversation, Queen and Amanda. I was like, oh, this is wholesome. Because when you even hear the title, The Other Woman, it really insinuates there's going to be bass boost between the women. And there was in the launch scene ish, but I'm happy that at the end it never became like mean spirited or catty or like we're not fighting for this. Like I like how we just ended up being like, and what Queen even said to her of like, I'm happy you had the decency to walk away. Like, and just Amanda handled this so well. Queen handled this so well. Like I loved how it all came together at the end that we don't have to be friends, we don't have to keep this relationship going, but thank you and I respect you for what you did. Because Amanda really took that on the chin. At the end, Queen took and also the error in her ways of cursing her. Although when Queen was saying, you didn't even give me a chance to explain myself, I said, how? Which chance? You just they cursed the girl left and right. Which chance did you even give her to explain? But I'm happy that at the end everything was resolved between Amanda and Queen. I love their storyline. So with that, let's jump into Amanda and Frank. Frank cannot be serious. I wrote that when Frank was saying, Amy girl, don't do this to me, love. Pick my call, love. I said, you're a married man of 25 years. You're a married man of 25 years, Amy, love. Pick my call, love. And your own wife's call, they pick. Frank was so embarrassing. When Frank was now kneeling down in the restaurant for a single girl, you're a married man of 25 years. Queen must be so embarrassed. Frank really put that woman to shame. Look at you, a married man. Man, the other thing that I wrote was when Amanda said, if you wanted to leave your wife, you would have done it way before you met me. You just wanted to eat your cake and have it. It's as simple as that. Any girl, anybody where they hear say the married person, they tell you, say, oh, I want to leave them. It's just that I'm unhappy. Can they come? Can they? If they wanted to leave, they would have. way before they even come and meet you. So don't hear all those ones. It's talk upon talk, and I'm happy that this movie highlights that. Ultimately, when their relationship ended, I liked it. I like that, she tells him her goodbye at that restaurant and they don't see again. Like, she really sets it straight that you were my biggest disappointment. She tells him not to let him off the hook at all. You broke my heart. You were really such a disappointment, my biggest one yet. You let me down. I'm done. And she doesn't see him again for the rest of the film. I loved it. I loved it that was like the end. She cut ties complete. Loved. Then Frank and Quinn, right? Because this is where it now all heads towards. When Frank tells Quinn that, it was my duty when he asks why they stuck around for so long, I was like, the number of marriages that truly that is the case, that they're just kind of here together because of a sense of duty. Like the actual love in the relationship don't go, but now it's just out of a sense of duty that they are here. And who wants to feel like that? When Queen said, so now I'm a duty, like, cause truly, who wants to feel like a duty? The other thing I wanted to say was that when Frank started having his temper tantrums at the beginning, when Amanda was not picking his call, and he's now like throwing the temper tantrums at Queen, at the staff, I said, Queen must be like, Omo, which one we have? Which one make I pray? Because when he's in his affair, he's happy. And we are all doing happy life. Like in part one, he was very happy. Now doing new cologne, everything is hunky dory. Now when your affair don't scatter, you're now throwing temper tantrum. So as the wife, Queen, which one should I pray? Should I pray, say, God, bring the affair so happiness and joy could come back this house? Or scatter the affair so I could come deal with this kind of nonsense? Like, either ways, it was bad for Queen. Like, what a mess. The next thing that I wrote was that the Frank and staff matter. How did it get that bad? I was asking even from part one that, like, the fact that your own staff, because the way I even thought at some point was that, was Queen like a benefactor of his? Like, was she the sugar mommy or the benefactor? And she wasn't. Like, they were equal partners in this marriage. So how did things devolve so bad with the staff that they didn't even take or even reckon with Frank? Like, I wish they had explained that more. Like, it just seemed like over years it just kind of happened. But like the fact that they didn't used to this to him at all, it's kind of it's wild. It's kind of preposterous too. Then finally, I guess I was the end of the movie. I guess the message is clear: marriage endures. That was the ultimate lesson of the film: marriage endures. Because after everything, Queen now comes back, so her and Frank now stand outside in the veranda, and they both laugh it, take their drink, put head on each other. Marriage endures. Love conquers all. Marriage stays strong. Ultimately, I liked the conclusion. I liked it. I really liked the conclusion. I think it really, I like that part one is its own thing, part two is its own thing. And part one was all about like not trying to look at what is going wrong, like you're just trying to be in denial. And then part two is reckoning with the things that you've been trying to run away from. You've now seen the affair in your face, you've now seen the lies in your face, and how do you handle that? And I love the fact that this didn't get contentious in a way that was like we've seen before, or that like it didn't become too messy. Like, I liked how they did it and the story that they were telling and the message that it passed. I really, really enjoyed this. Really good job to Uche Montana. Again, my first Uche Montana thing I've ever seen. You guys have been giving me recommendations. I will check them out in time. But overall, Uche, you did your big one and you are a fine girl. You'll have that one forever. Fine thing. Hi! If you've been watching this whole video and you have no idea who I am, my name is VDK. I make movie bingo cards, which you can find on my Substack, vdkfilmclub.substack.com, and I talk about movies. Until the next film that I watch and the next video that I make, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.